The Devil of Equestria, written and read by Fen-wukong. Enjoy. Chapter 1 Science or Seance. As the group of noble ponies all take their seats at the conference building, they begin to quiet their chatter as a dark blue unicorn with a suit and tie and a mane as pitch black as the night sky walks out, his cobalt eyes glowing with excitement, and a mic next to him. Mares and gentle colts, he says with the mic to his mouth. Who do you think is responsible for saving us from the threats our country has faced in recent times? As the crowd looks around to each other, talking amongst themselves about what the Unicorn CEO Shadowmane was going on about. I thought this was a product conference, not an appreciation showing, one pony whispered to Prince Blue Blood. As the crowd speaks, they are silenced by Shadowmane's voice, continuing with the show. I will tell you who. The now Princess Twilight Sparkle and her friends, the Elements of Harmony! In an instant, a puff of smoke and a flash of magic shows lifelike projections of said heroes of Equestria. Well, yes, we owe them many thanks for their kind actions, Shadowmane continues. Are they not normal ponies like you and I? As the crowd looks to themselves with confusion to what Shadowmane was going on about, he continues to speak the speech he had practiced for nearly a month now. Did Tyrek, the villainous magic-stealing Minotaur, nearly succeed in his plan to drain all magic from our world, and was only stopped by Twilight and the Elements all fighting a strange new power? And did the changelings not only capture and replace the Princess of Love, Miyamura Cadenza, with their queen, and did Discord not nearly succeed with taking over Equestria once more? As the crowd murmurs to themselves, they are interrupted by one final question of the Elements of Harmony from Shadowmane. Noble ponies of Equestria, do you think it will always be this way? Silence takes the crowd. Think about it. What if the elements ever pass on to the afterlife, whatever it may be, and a threat far greater than our glorious Princess Celestia arrives? The crowd doesn't speak. Exactly what Shadowmane hoped for. Now he fully has their attention undivided from his idea and himself. As he stands taller, he says, Do you wish to help defend our country and its people? Every pony nods, agreeing that not dying would be nice. As the crowd all silences, Shadowmane then says, Well, might I interest you in a new form of defense for our homeland? Everyone, please follow me to the balcony, he shouts, turning off his mic. The group of ponies all move to the balcony and look at the Unicorn CEO standing in front of them. A field behind him. As he puts the mic on a cushion next to him, he holds his hands at his sides and shouts triumphantly, Every pony, may I present to you the mobile suit! The spot in the three as three giant humanoid-shaped machines all land with massive thuds on the field behind him. The spots where their eyes would be replaced by visors. As the noble ponies stare in awe, Shadowmane speaks. These three are our first mobile suit models, but I beg of you to please give us, the Equestrian Protection Foundation, the funding and materials we will need to make the next line of defense for the honor and glory of Equestria. As the noble ponies all cheer, Prince Blueblood shouts, I will give aid to you, and is soon followed by Fancy Pants, shouting, And so will I! The noble ponies, all shouting with promises of funding and materials, soon change to cheers of Shadowmane's name. Celestia shuts off the projector as the lights are turned back on. It had been roughly 5 months, and Shadowmane and his company were already able to create well over 200 of the mobile suits. Wow, he sure is a crowd pleaser, Twilight said, a notebook in her hands, as her mentor sat at the chair next to her. Celestia then says, Yes, but that is not what we are here for. Oh, then what is it, Celestia? Twilight asked. It is the rapid development that Shadowman has been putting out, of these mobile suits, as he calls them, Celestia said. Twilight had seen pictures of the suits and had heard news over the 5 months of production of how fast Shadowmane was with it. But she never took into account how odd it was that they were able to produce them so quickly without issue. No accidents or anything. The project had been kept under wraps by the Foundation, but there should be news on failures in testing. But no news of any failed experiments on mobile suits ever came out, not once. I've tried to see the construction of these mobile suits myself, but every time it seems they've prepared the site for my arrival. As Twilight thinks, she responds with, "So I take it you'd want me to go most likely in disguise to see what they're hiding, am I correct?" Twilight says, her hands writing down the plan on her notebook. Celestia nods and speaks up with a minor motherly concern. "Twilight, I just want to know," holding her pupil's shoulders with her hands, worry across her face. Are you sure you can do this?" Twilight nods and says with confidence that she had earned over the time as her mentor's student, "I won't let you down, princess." As Twilight walks behind a corner of a brick wall, she spies a line of families, most likely heading to the Equestrian Protector Foundation for a tour, she thought to herself, as she pulls behind the corner and checks to see if any pony was watching. As she ignites her horn, and with a violet flash, she turned into an alicorn with light ash-colored mane and green fur, her purple eyes turning a bright verdant green. "Now for a name," she whispers to herself. As Twilight looks, she sees a billboard for a toothpaste, labeled Verdant Breath Mint. As she stares, she says, "Verdant Mint, that works." As she walks behind the line, she notices how fast it moves. In getting closer, she sees that the harbor has a multitude of boats. Seems they take safety very seriously. As she walks to the booth, the guard's pony asks, "Name and number of ponies, please." "Verdant Mint and one unicorn." As the guard opens a ticket box and pulls one out and says, "10 bits, please." Twilight puts the bag of bits onto the table as she takes the ticket. Entering the boat, she looks across the ocean and sees the building, with trees growing out of the roof, through the sun, and through the hole in it. Glass adorning the sides to view the outside, but not entirely glass. Some with a marble white walls that have been painted with some green paint on it. As the boat stops, Twilight walks off, thanking the sail pony. As she walks into the building, the door opening on its own, she sees a billboard playing a recording of Shadowmane as he points to whoever is entering the building and says, "You can change the world." As Twilight walks up to the reception desk, she says to the pony, "Hi, I am Verdant Mint. I'm here to inspect the building for safety reasons." As the pony looks at Twilight confused, she says, "Oh, yes, we've been expecting an inspection. Please follow me to the labs." Twilight follows the young mare through the building. As the mare begins to tell her about different production sites, some involving plant research, others involving physical health of ponies, Twilight sees a door labeled Mobile Suit Factory. "Perfect," she thinks to herself, and says to the pony, "Excuse me, I gotta use the bathroom." As the mayor says, "Oh, no problems, I will lead you there." As the two walk to the bathroom, Twilight enters and moves into a stall. As she says, "Okay, time for the hard part." Her horn, growing a bright violet, suddenly coats her in an invisible field. As she slowly walks out the bathroom stall, she slowly opens the door and throws a can that she had found in there on in front of the mare. As she turns around, Twilight quickly moves out of the bathroom and walks over to the door labeled Mobile Suit Production. Opening the door, Twilight then sees an elevator at the end of a hall. Walking towards the elevator, Twilight presses the down button, and as she enters, the disguise of both invisibility and the falsely made verdant mint disappear. As the elevator goes down, she enters a hallway. It looks like a bridge, she says to herself. As she walks on it, lights turn on. With the lights on, she sees scientist ponies below her. As she turns to her right side, she gasps, her wings flaring out in fear. What she sees is seemingly the top half of a torso of a mobile suit. But this one was different from the one Shadowmane had built. It had a golden V-like fin in the shape of horns. It kind of looks like a crown. Its eye-like camera visors seemingly had 3 separate cameras in it. 2 big ones in the middle, but 2 small ones, both at the back and the front, seemingly for 360 view. It had a mace at the side, attached to the wall, with a note next to it saying, "Found in crash site." Crash site? Twilight whispers to herself. As she looks at the thing, she sees that it has a red, prominent, sharp chin, almost looking like a beard. Its body was mainly white, a minor bit of blue on the shoulder pads, some yellow venting, and some red painted. But it also had long arms with claw-like hands. As Twilight stares at the machine, she hears a guard shout, "Don't move, intruder!" As she turns around, holding her hands up, the guards' ponies, in tactile assault armor, with rifles at their sides, Shadowmane says, "Stop it, you fool! That is the Princess of Friendship!" As the guard says, I'm sorry, boss." All of them standing at attention, Shadowmane walks forward, holding his hands to his chest, and says, "Princess Twilight, trust me, there is an explanation for everything." As Aaron wakes up, his head sore, he rapidly blinks to dissipate the sleepiness on his eyes. As he looks up, he sees that the glove box has 2 little claws held together like a worried mother in a movie, as the green eye-like structure watches him. As Aaron holds the claws, he says, "Thanks, Bartos. I'm fine now." As Aaron looks, he says, "Activate audio receptors." As he hears a faint, muffled, "Trust me, Princess, there's an explanation for everything." As as Aaron then shuts off the audio receptor, he says, "So, royalty and most likely a scientist in trouble. Probably upset that they can't get me out of here then. What do they want Barbatos for, though? War? Bloodshed?" As the 2 claws and eye fold back into the glove box above Aaron, Aaron moves his body forward, unzipping the back of his the back of his mobile pilot suit, as a spike extends, and the back of his seat opens up. "Well, if they want bloodshed," as Aaron puts the spike into the entrance hole on the seat, his body shivering as the connection point of his mind and the mobile suit becomes one, he says in a fierce voice, "I'll give them theirs!" As Twilight stands, she says to Shadowmane, "There better be a really damn good one, Shadowmane! What the hell is that thing?" However, as Shadowmane is about to talk, he looks to his right in fear. The eyes of the mobile suit not only turned on, but were glowing green. In an instant, Shadowmane teleports as the left hand of the mobile suit crushes the soldiers and the bridge next to them. As an alarm blares, Twilight looks in horror at the bloodied claw. Looking up to her left, she sees that the mobile suit, its eyes glowing a verdant green, yet not calm like verdant mint or any other pony she had thought of or seen. But these eyes were with a bestial fury.